Glass and fire, two elements that require a patient master to coax them into art. Masami Koda has an advantage. She seems to see beyond the surface, right down to the molecular level. One of a new generation of gallery artists, she's schooled in all aspects of her art and career. A highly skilled multimedia artist, her preparations are meticulous and her direction is often adventurous. She seems to be exploring the fragility of nature's life cycle as a way of discovering common origins. On our recent studio visit, we catch Masami as she prepares for an upcoming exhibit. Masami, good morning. I was watching you from the other side of the studio.
Hello.
Beautiful, delicate work. This is what the finished piece will look like.
Yep. I tried to make a little bit smaller lengths here.
I saw the finished piece at William Traver Gallery, and I was surprised to know that you could make glass move. You achieved something that I've never seen anybody else really do. You're not simply working with glass, you're using wire, and what else?
Like a bronze or wood. I just like to use different material and put them together in one piece.
And why glass? What is it about glass that draws you in, or even this process?
Glass has a many, will give you different faces. Like it's very shiny, and if you scratch a surface, it will give you a subtle reflection. And then here it's very thin, so it gives you like a very fragile feeling. But if you use like a big cast glass, and it will give you like a very heavy and solid, and so it has a many different faces.
And this is really the iris, is that right? You're doing the iris? It's an amazing shape. Here you're using glass with fire, and you have a delicate form. Do you use glass in any other way besides with fire?
Yes. This glass is a borosilicate glass, so it's very hard.
Right.
And so when I can make like this kind of shape or other shape, but it's very difficult to grind or to cut because of the glass. But I use other glass for the glass casting.
Masami, these are natural forms again. Tell me about these.
These are wax models. I'm making it out of using a balloon and then dip into the melted wax. Oops, sorry. And now I'm dipping. So the reason I put water inside is it won't explode.
Oh.
And then it will.
This is kind of like making candy.
Yeah, that's right. So I will dip maybe 5 times or so.
Regular wax?
Yes, sculpture wax.
How many of these go into a piece?
I made about 40 pieces so far.
Really? 40? Wow.
I always make an extra just in case it didn't work. It will help to have extra pieces.
Where do you learn something like this? I mean, are you something from school or self-taught?
Well, this is I just figure out myself.
Yeah?
And so this is a water, so you will quickly harden the wax.
Really, it's solid already.
Ish. Ish.
Can I feel that?
This one?
Yeah, great.
So.
And each balloon, different size, different shape. It
Yes.
doesn't. It's the same shape, but slightly different. Huh?
Some are a little bit
Right,
large, and then some are
Yeah.
just small.
What's the inspiration for this shape? What is this?
This
Is
is more like a dewdrop, water dewdrop,
really?
and a sea pot.
In a sea pot, I can definitely see that. Is this how the glass gets in?
Yes, I have to make it wider a little bit, but
So this is for the glass.
yes, this is like a spool.
Oh, this isn't like a
this
stem.
is not. This is not a piece. I have later on. I have to cut it later.
So this is actually used to put so the
order
glass
to-
will go right through there. This is a channel.
Yes, yes. That's
Oh, I didn't realize. I see it's so pretty that way. I thought that was
it's
what.
kind of handle.
Yeah. Okay.
Using a toothbrush,
Okay.
kind of.
Oh, that's how you get the texture. I see. A lot of your work has a nice etched element to it. You don't want the shiny surface so much.
No.
Because nature doesn't have a shiny surface. Is that it?
Yes, that's true. So something like that.
It seems simple
It's
in some
very
ways.
easy.
Are you a couple weeks or a month away from finishing?
Probably months away.
Really?
And because I'm doing glass casting, and that will take maybe 5-7 days, and then so it takes a little bit time. I painted the plaster. After that, I will burn out the wax inside of this plaster mold, and it will be like this, and then inside is already empty. So I'm ready to do glass casting. Glass is hard but still delicate, and sometimes so I will kind of peeling off the skin here, and then this plaster is really sticking to the glass, so it's really difficult to clean the glass now. And then maybe later on I will use a brush, like toothbrush or a metal brush, to just clean up the more detail. Still, it won't come out. So I have to use a wire brush. This is what look like when cleaned up. Long process, but hopefully I'll be able to finish.
What is it that attracts you about nature?
I was born in Japan, and I grew up pretty much in the city. And when I came here, United States, and moved to Seattle, and then I see that was nature is really close to it. And then when I take a walk in the wood, and you see the little tiny seeds growing, and I like to see the every day it's growing process, and that will give me some kind of energy. So I really appreciate that. So I try to put those appreciation into my work using organic shape or forms.
The number of different mediums you're using, I'm seeing wood, I'm seeing glass, I'm seeing metal and wax, plaster.
When I started with metal first, I went to school and I was majoring metal, so I did soldering, welding, and bronze casting. And after that, I somehow wanted to do something different, which was glass. And then I studied glass blowing and did casting. So now I wanted to incorporate those two different materials using different techniques, and then so that will give you a more voice to the glass work. So.
But you don't do all that work in this room. Where else do you? Let's see the rest of your studio. Let's take a look. Hey, this is a great studio. This gets even better.
So this is a model I'm working on right now.
Yeah?
But here is a bronze casted.
Ooh.
And all the pieces are separated, but I weld them together in one piece.
So this is bronze underneath already.
Yes.
And you welded this.
Yes.
And this is, how did you make the bronze?
From the wax again.
Ah, the same wax casting.
Yes. And here is a clay, still in the process of model. This is going to be a bronze kind of.
Oh, this
cast.
is going to be bronze.
Yes.
Oh.
And so this is actually the image of a sunflower that is the
Sunflower.
Yes, but it's more like when it's bloom and early fall, the sunflower is kind of bend and try to drop off the seeds to the ground.
So these little holes are where the seeds were.
Yes, so I use this kind of actual seeds, but not from the actual sunflower, and then put some texture with wax, and then
you make the impression.
Impression. But this is actually the second time I worked on.
Really?
First time I worked on, like 10 days ago, it was exactly the same.
Yeah.
And then pieces here didn't quite work because I was like, this piece was like this, and then when it's kind of got dry, I take this piece out,
right,
and carved inside, so it will give you like a thin thickness. So then I was going to cast this form,
right,
but because I break up all the pieces first, so it seems like a little difficult to work on now. So I thought maybe I should redo it again. So now this is just one piece.
Right.
But when I cast, it was going to be more like a pieces and assembled together like this shape. And then in here, I think I'm going to put glass pieces. But not all of them.
Little glass beads in here like the seeds?
Yes.
Ooh.
And then maybe different color that I'm thinking right now.
And it'll be cracked as if the sun had...
break up or something, yeah.
Very unusual. People normally show a flower in full bloom, but you're showing it towards the decay or the end. You have the sketches.
This is my sketches, little... I don't have a whole last image into my sketches, so it will change constantly. And then the idea I'm working on is using the element of water, air, and fire, and earth.
Water, the ocean flowing through our veins. Air, the breath of all green things. Fire, let there be light. Earth, made from the soil. You're thinking about these? And these are the symbols?
Oh, when I do a sketch, very, very rough sketch, but it's not necessary in the last image. Like these are this image, and then, so constantly changing that, which is okay with me, because when I do a drawing, if I have a last image of the piece onto the sketchbook, then I don't think I will be very excited when I'm making them, because I'm just following the
Right. This is just kind of the jazz of the idea. And your ideas, when they reach this stage, like these finished pieces here, do you keep working with the idea?
This is pretty much finished. This is our image
What
from the ear, inside the ear.
Oh, that's the earpiece again.
And then that time I was trying to cooperate with a human being and a nature image together. So that was inside of ear.
Can I pick this up? It's pretty heavy, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah.
That is solid bronze.
Somehow I was looking at the seashells. So incorporate those two images into one piece. So this piece is a pear piece inside of the ear, and there's a kind of a those shape, and then in here it's more like more like angle.
Really?
And it's the image of the blood cell.
Oh, this is blood cells.
Yeah.
Really?
So it's kind of that's from the ear to looking at inside of the body and to the blood. So it's connected. And then also the shape of the shells from the nature. These are the wax model, and I have several pieces, and I will do plaster investment, and then do a lost wax, burn out the wax, and then I will do a bronze casting. So this is an actual bronze piece that I'm going to use. And so that now you can see I cut it here. These are, I won't use these parts, but these are the piece. I'm gonna press pieces inside of this hole. Of course, I have to weld them together in the back. And then it will be going like this. And, well, actually, this is a very similar piece that is going to be finished pretty much like this. I was thinking about the earth and then the wind or sky, and so somehow kind of bees or idea, and also the nature or form, organic form.
And you're from Kobe.
Yes, I'm from Kobe. I was born in Kobe and raised up in Kobe.
You know, not everybody knows, but Kobe is a sister city for Seattle.
Yes, I didn't even know when I
know.
moved here, and then I hear that we are sister city, and I'm living here, so I'm like, interesting.
Kobe suffered a tragic earthquake.
Uh-huh.
Were you here when that happened?
I was in here, Seattle, and then I didn't have a TV, and so I didn't even know we had the earthquake. But some of my friends called me. You have to watch news, and then I turned on the news, and it was like news about the earthquake, and see all the city where I know I used to work, and so I was like, oh, and then my family live in Kobe, and I really thought they are not surviving, but so 3 days later I was able to talk with my mom, and she said whole family is okay, and so I was so relieved after all, and so.
Now I see on the table that this piece, and you mentioned that this is your response to the earthquake.
Yes.
Let's take a closer look at that. I'd like to know what this is about.
Goes stand on like.
Oh, really? It stands?
Yeah.
Oh.
Each bottle has a fingerprint here.
Oh, really?
Here. And some here.
Okay, that's a fingerprint. Yeah.
And as like ID, and then has a bottle connected, and then these are paper.
Right.
And some of the paper lid is open.
Yes. This one.
It's open or break here.
Uh-huh.
And then some of the clothes, of course, and then in the bottle, inside of the bottle, there's a feather.
Oh, really?
Here you can see. Here
Oh, yeah, there's a tiny little feather in there.
So it happened, the lid is closed, so I'm thinking about all the people who survived and then died in the earthquake. I made this for them. So.
What's the title?
Departure.
Departure. Masami, when I see your work, I see elements of earth and air and fire and water, but there's a suggestion that there's something more in your work, and I'm wondering if it's something spiritual or maybe something that you bring with you from Japan.
I am a Buddhist, so the Buddhist teaching will kind of give me some image or inspiration. We are human beings. We have 5 senses.
Right.
But they believe that the human being has more beyond like 5 senses.
Or more than 5 senses.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and like we can't have a conversation on to the only like a human being, but there is a life like nature, flower, or any animal or bug or whatever. They have a life. And we cannot communicate. We are not able to communicate to them. But I thought if we have ear to listen or pay attention what's going on to little world, then I thought we are able to have a communication somehow. So that's why I'm kind of start looking closely to the nature. And
so you're going inside to discover more of the life and communicate and let that life communicate to you.
Yes.
Oh, it's a very harmonious viewpoint. You seem to be achieving it.
it's very important to have a balance between human being and nature, so that we can have this beautiful nature to the future, and then that will give us that energy. So as an artist, I'm kind of working on that and give a message to the people, to the work.